Hello and welcome to our 3ds Max Hard Surface Modelling Basics course. My name is Joel Bradler and I am really looking forward to working through this modelling course with you, a course in which we will be looking to make good use of some of the most basic and yet also most useful and powerful modelling tools in the 3ds Max application. In the introductory chapter, we will start by taking a quick look at some simple setup tweaks that I oftentimes take in 3ds Max in order to make the modelling experience both quicker and easier, both of which can be invaluable when we find ourselves working in a production environment. In Chapter 1, we're going to take a look at one of the ways in Max in which we can model with splines, using them to create flowing shapes that have complex surface properties. Shapes that would be difficult, if not impossible, to create using polygon modelling techniques alone. In Chapter 2, we will take a look at how we can build a model one piece at a time, or component by component, as I like to think of it, fixing topology and solving mesh problems as we go. Chapter 3 will see us make use of perhaps one of the oldest 3D modelling techniques around, which is to build the basics of an asset from the primitive objects that are supplied with the modelling program. In this instance, 3ds Max's cylinder primitive will feature heavily in the creation of what will ultimately be quite a complex looking piece of kit. In Chapter 4, we will make extensive use of 3ds Max's cut tool to show how we can not only create some of the component pieces that we may need for a model, but also how we can clean up and refine the topology of a mesh so that it ultimately works in the way in which we need. Last, and yet by no means least, we will, in Chapter 5, demonstrate both the power and flexibility of using 3ds Max's modifier stack in the modelling phase of a project, specifically here working with the Edit Poly modifier. As you work your way through this course, the one thing you will hopefully come to realise is that hard surface modelling in 3ds Max is not something that can be separated out into distinct techniques, but is instead something that is much more spontaneous in nature, making use of multiple tools and drawing on multiple techniques in order to get the job done. The really cool and interesting thing here being that we accomplish all of this using just a handful of 3ds Max's most basic and yet most versatile and powerful modelling tools, such as cuts, connects, welds, and so on. If you are ready to get started on your hard surface modelling adventure, then let's get going and dive right in.